The Golden State Warriors just figured it out. As you all know, the Warriors have been on a hot streak where they have been able to pull off 4 wins in a row, and they are currently ranked 8th in the Western Conference. Now, they are only 2 wins away from getting back into the top 5 of the Western Conference, so it's looking all very well for Warriors. So in today's video, we're going to be going through 5 reasons why the Warriors have been able to turn this season around, and now if they keep this up, they will be potentially on the way to win another NBA championship. So make sure to like this video, and if you want more Golden State Warriors content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hitting that red button down below. But let's get straight into the first reason, and the first reason being is that Jonathan Kuminga is playing great basketball. As you all know, Jonathan Kuminga has been such a potential star over the past couple of years, and I do think there is a lot of potential for him to even grow further. But so far, ever since Curry has gotten injured, he has been balling out and putting up some great performances. Now, Jonathan Kuminga is actually averaging 7.5 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 1.7 assists. Now, it may not sound like crazy stats, however, you do have to remember Kuminga is only getting around 15 to 20 minutes per game, but the way he's doing on defense is what really separates him from everyone else. Kuminga is a great defender, and he has done a fantastic job locking up some of the best players in the league, and you definitely notice that because he has helped improve the defensive rating of the Golden State Warriors day in and day out, especially due to the fact that Andrew Wiggins has been injured for some time now. Now, Kuminga has had great defensive performances, locking up some great players, but he does show his offense from time to time, and his most recent game against Charlotte, he actually dropped 15 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists in only 17 minutes of play. So that was very impressive from someone like Kuminga. He really isn't the first option in scoring, but when he does have the green light to score, guys, he definitely puts on a great show. And I think Kuminga can definitely keep this up. He's still a very young player, so he does have a lot to learn, but I do think he is on the right path to continue to get better as time goes on. Jonathan Kuminga stands at 6'8", 210 pounds. He moves like a guard, but is built like a pretty much like a forward, and I do think it will help him in the future when it comes to what he's capable of doing, especially due to the fact that he's going to be getting a bigger role as time goes on. The second reason is Jordan Poole. Now, as you all know, Stephen Curry has been injured for some time now, and in the last 4 games, Jordan Poole has taken it on his shoulders to provide the scoring for this Warriors team while Steph Curry is out. If we look at the most recent games, especially in the last 4-game win streak, they did versus Memphis, which was a huge rivalry, and Jordan Poole took it personal because he dropped 32 points in that game. He also had 24 against Charlotte, 26 against Utah, and most recently dropped 41 points on Portland like it's nothing. And during that game, he also shot 5 from 10 from the 3-point line, so he had an average of 50% from the 3-point line, and also shot a very good 60% field goal percentage. So Jordan Poole has been absolutely bowling out, especially on the offensive side of things, and I think it's honestly helped the Golden State Warriors so much. Now, what really makes it very special is that Jordan Poole is also shooting at a very high rate and very high efficiency. It is really hard to fill the shoes of someone like Steph Curry, but he has done a fantastic job of doing that. Not only is he providing scoring, but he's done well in the playmaking sector as well. He's had a couple of games where he's getting 6 assists in those games, and I do think that really does help the Golden State Warriors as a whole because it provides more offense for everyone else. So he has honestly been bowling out. You know, like I said, Jordan Poole can definitely give you a bucket if he's given the green light, and with Steph Curry out, that is definitely what he's doing. Now, Jordan Poole continues to progress his game, not only just in threes, but also with inside scoring, and I think that's something that he's really developed over the past couple of years, and especially he's been really pushing for this season. As you all know, he did sign a major big contract, and I do think he is trying to live up to that contract, and he definitely hasn't disappointed so far. If they do keep this up, I do honestly see the Golden State Warriors continuing to go, and if Steph Curry comes back and Jordan Poole continues to produce these numbers, it is honestly a recipe for success, and the rest of the NBA is going to be very, very scared of this Warriors team, especially on the offensive side of things. The third reason is Donte DiVincenzo is improving as a role player. Now, as you all know, DiVincenzo is an NBA champion, and he was a starter for the Milwaukee Bucks, so it had a lot of people hyped to have him in this roster and to continue to play at a high level. Now, earlier on this season, he didn't really perform that well, and it may have been due to the fact that he wasn't used to that role player type role, and I do think he is used to being a starter, getting 20-25 minutes per game. So far this season, guys, he is only averaging around 16 minutes, so he has to do what he can do in the amount of minutes he's given. But so far in the last 4 games, he has done a fantastic job, because with a little bit of an increase where he's actually averaging 24 minutes per game, especially in the last 4 games, he has been balling out. He actually had 2 games where he got 20 points each and also racked up 7 and 8 rebounds. So DiVincenzo has honestly been fantastic, especially for the offensive end of things for that second unit, but his rebounding is very, very surprising, because I think it's something that is very slept on about DiVincenzo's game, and it's something that really does emulate Gary Payton II. As you all know, we all were sad to see Gary Payton II go, and I think it was sad because a lot of people thought that he was a high value player for that second unit, but DiVincenzo was definitely a replica of him. I think DiVincenzo is definitely having the same type of play style as Gary Payton II. Now, DiVincenzo may be a bit better of a scorer than Gary Payton II, but Gary Payton II may be a bit of a better defender than DiVincenzo, so there are the pros and cons. But when it comes to what he can do and what he can provide for this Warriors team, basically DiVincenzo needs to do what GP II did, and he's been doing a fantastic job at that, especially over the last 4 games. They've been able to figure this out by playing the game plan the way it's supposed to be played, and to give him a couple more minutes to be able to really get into rhythm. And you see him putting up 20 points per game, and you've also seen him pulling up 8 to 9 rebounds on a daily basis. And I do think if he does keep this up, DiVincenzo will not only get more minutes, but it will help this Golden State Warriors to continue to win more and more games and push the boundaries even further. Now, when it comes to DiVincenzo moving forward, I think he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. Yes, it is great to see him drop 20 points, but at the same time, especially if Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins are back, he probably doesn't need to drop 20 points. But if he's giving you 10 rebounds, 10 points a game, a double-double every single night, it is honestly going to be great for this Warriors team, and especially for that second unit, which is Steve Kerr saying is that they're most struggling on figuring out. The fourth reason is Klay Thompson is playing like his old self. Now, as you all know, Klay Thompson has come back from 2 major injuries in the knee and also the Achilles. Now, last season he did win an NBA championship, but he did say that he doesn't feel 100%, but it seems like now so far this season, especially in the last 4 games, he has finally come back into his own to be able to play at a very high level. Now, as you all know, Klay Thompson, especially earlier on in the season, was putting up some great numbers, but with the Warriors continuing to lose, they did say that something has to change. And I think Klay Thompson has found that balance. He's playing a lot more aggressive defense, but on top of that, he's able to actually play a lot more aggressive offense at the same time. Maybe it's a mentality thing where he thought he was going to get injured and now he's back to playing his full self, but he has been balling out over the last 4 games as well, because he's dropped 24 against Memphis, 29 against Charlotte, and also 31 against Portland. And those are definitely some Klay Thompson type numbers, especially back in the 2016-2017 type seasons, and he is honestly shooting a very high percentage. If we look at his most recent game against Portland, he dropped 31 points. Now, in that, he actually shot 15 threes and made 7 of them. So he shot 46% from the 3. 46%. That is honestly insane, and I do think it will honestly help him continue to improve and continue to push further, especially later on in the season and when Steph Curry comes back. Now, Klay, especially on defense, hasn't really been the same lockdown defender, but over the past 4 games, he has definitely shown that he is still one of the best elite defenders in this league. And I think it's going to be exciting to see Klay and Andrew Wiggins play some great defense on not only just guards, but maybe even some small forwards and power forwards, and I think they will do a fantastic job at that. Klay Thompson has always been a great defender, but obviously due to the injury, it does take a little toll on what is capable of happening when it comes to, being able to move, being able to switch very quickly, and all that stuff. So I think Klay Thompson being back into his old ways is going to be fantastic, not only for the team, but also for his individual type of play. He has honestly been such a great defender so far. I've seen him lock up some bigger players, even bigger than him, and even though he does stand at 6'6", 215 pounds, he's able to really guard players that are power forward and maybe even sometimes small center positions. So Klay Thompson, obviously he is getting older, but when it comes to shooters, you really don't lose that shooting touch, and he's definitely shown that over the past 4 games. Now, especially against the game against Memphis, we all know what happened there. Klay Thompson talking a little smack, so it seems that he's got his swagger back, which is really good to see. Now, on top of all this, his rebounding has also improved, and I think this is something that has definitely been missing from not only just Golden State Warriors, but from Klay Thompson as well. Klay Thompson in past seasons has actually averaged anywhere from around 6 6 to 9 rebounds, which is really fantastic. But so far this season, he's actually averaging 3 rebounds per game. Over the last 4 games, however, he's actually upped that, because in the last 4 games, he's actually averaging 7 rebounds a game, which may not sound like a lot, but I'm telling you guys, it can really make the difference all up. So I think it's fantastic to see him get back to his rebounding ways, defensive ways, and also offense as well. The 5th reason is Kevon Looney is playing like an absolute beast. Now, Kevon Looney has been a little bit of an under the radar player because he doesn't give you 20, 30, 40 points a game. However, he does all the intangibles that really help this Warriors team continue to push further, especially in the last 4-game win streak. Now, so far this season, Kevon Looney is actually averaging 6.5 points, 7.9 rebounds, and 2.9 assists. Now, I think this is very important to actually understand, because when we look at his stats, they are very consistent. But if you look so far this season, and especially at individual games, he has honestly been putting on such a great show, especially on the defensive end. In the most recent 4-game win streak, he has played all games. He did have one game where he actually got 11 points, but where we really look at such great numbers is definitely his rebounds. Against Utah, he actually had 12 rebounds, and against Portland, he actually had 11 rebounds, and in those games, he actually got 1 block and 4 assists in each one of them. So I think it was honestly fantastic to see that Kevon Looney isn't only just a rebounder, he's able to shot block, he's able to even assist out of certain plays, but his defensive presence is definitely felt, especially on the defensive pick and roll plays that they really do love to run. You definitely see Kevon Looney switch on or even hedge for the other guard, and I do think it is fantastic to see how he causes a lot of havoc, not only just in the paint, but also on the perimeter as well. And I think this is going to pay dividends in the long run, especially for the rest of the season. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace.